Welcome back to Pathfinder Kingmaker. I did find one useful item that I intend to put on Caledorn, which is a Wand of Scorching Ray. Since we have to deal with all the trolls, that is definitely something that we want to have. Other than that, this is where we are headed, a ford across the Skunk River, and this is a location that is rather important to go to in Act 2, which is the one we are in now, because if you don't go here before Act 2 ends, you will lose out on a rather particular important thing here. Get offended at me calling him a thing, but
Stand with me.
Let us strike as one.
this is the person we are looking for. Yes, indeed. More kobolds? Oh, Tartuk. So, the gnome invites some of his friends. Stupid, slow, sluggish gnome. Gnome. Stupid. There's a purple kobold on the riverbank. Looks just like your old acquaintance, Tartuccio. Kobolds want this cart. Kobolds shall have it. The horse skull hides most of the kobold's face, but you see his vicious eyes glinting through the empty sockets, staring at you. By orders of myself, the glorious King Tartuk. The kobold pounds his chest with his fist. Tartuk, king! Jubilost, the head of the gnome expedition, wipes his brow and glares at the kobold. This bastard was the one talking our ears off while the rest of them were trying to steal our cart. King Tartuk, the gnome looks at you and winks. What do you say to a bit of regicide? Tartuccio, I recognize you. What is this new disguise and why are you not dead? How dare you speak like that to King? Kobolds, attack! Shirdas! 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 Fine.
To victory! Do not falter!
Oh, he hasted them.
Repent.
See you soon enough. This is not over. Okay, can we loot now? Masterwork crossbow. I don't think I've ever seen a Masterwork short sword. So, time to talk to Jubilost. While the gnomes were busy fighting the kobolds, furiously cursing and diligently punching their unwelcome guests right in their dragonish snouts, the cart was all but forgotten. The unwitting cause of the fight, it was being dragged away by the scared ponies when it slid down the ford, sinking all the way up to the coachman's seat in the river. This was where the Skunk River flows into the Tusk River, and the current becomes excessively spiteful. Cold, stubborn, and turbulent, having taken hold of the gnome's cart, the Skunk River must have decided to drag it down amid all the commotion, but it was caught in the act. The surviving gnomes, led by the head of the gnome expedition, an extremely loud and crabby fellow, but not without some managerial talent, were able to catch the cart before it floated away. Faces red and grunting from the strain, they struggled to keep it from drowning entirely. Just then, a package fell into the water. With a heartbreaking splash, it vanished beneath the current, only to resurface 10 meters down the river. No, the head of the gnome expedition moaned as he glowered at the package. That was Alchemy and Life, the latest issue. Gathering our strength, we began pulling the cart from the river. Ready? Ah, my foot. The head of the gnome expedition yelled, his face red and angry. With help like this, my possessions will be down the river in a flash. Just go to the camp or find those runaway ponies or find some other way to help. Gods. We tried to pull the cart out. After assisting our efforts for a while, the cart finally began to give. Squelching loudly in the mud, it jerked forward, and as the head of the gnome expedition opened his mouth to let out a victory cry, but that sly snake of a river decided that if she couldn't have her trophy, no one would. Instead of riding out on the ford, the cart began to lean, then slowly, almost magnificently, fell on its side. A scream of triumph only made it halfway before sticking in the gnome's throat. Son of a troll. The perplexed gnome gazed on as his collection of boxes, packages, and bags slowly floated away. That gaze then came to rest on us. Well then, thank you, travelers, for your oh so invaluable help. The gnome that stands before you wears dirty and ragged clothes. They used to look stylish and wealthy long ago, but those times are long gone. His black hair is matted, a deep fresh scratch crosses his cheek. Despite of this rather pathetic look, the gnome behaves with inner dignity and even manages to maintain a superior manner.
Jubilost Nartropple, a humble servant to no one. Oh, too bad your grace proved to not be capable enough to save my cart. Well, one shouldn't expect a faster reaction from a baron himself. After all, it's common knowledge that titled persons usually hire a bunch of advisors to do all the thinking for them. So, they must have some other bunch to jump in the rivers and save carts. By the way, it's a shame no one organized a greeting party when such a famous and popular person as myself arrived to your capital. I wasn't expecting a red carpet covered with rose petals, but you could at least have sent ahead some delegation. Oh, at least some of my servants are still alive. Do you know how much it costs to train a proper servant?
Jubilost jabbers too fast, never stopping even to take a breath. You can see he's piled up some emotions and just needs to get them out of his system.
Also, while I'm on that, I'd like to make an official announcement. The roads in your barony are in terrible condition. People must search for wading fords to cross the rivers because no one had bothered themselves with building bridges, and honest travelers have to take the risk of being attacked by kobolds at any moment. So, how did you say your barony was called? Oh, whatever, never mind. When I draw the map of these lands, I will call them the End of All Roads. Dirt Beyond. I guess it's a fitting name.
The gnome fell silent at last. He just watches you with his shifty eyes opening and closing his mouth as if he wants to say something more, but hasn't come up with anything yet.
You think too highly of yourself, Sir Gnome. Behave with some dignity while you're on these lands.
Oh, I see. The very spirit of knighthood embodied. So, what do you propose me to do, Sir Knight? Should I lie?
By no means. But you shall not be so blunt. I bid you to express your opinion in a more courteous form.
Your problem, Sir Knight, is that you worry too much about form and appearance. Unsurprisingly so, considering your pretty face. As for me, I worry solely about the content.
For someone who values content so highly, you seem pretty quick to make superficial judgments.
Oh, is that so? I would deem it necessary to inform you that...
Please, don't waste your words and time on this buffoon, especially because of me.
How do you know I'm a baron?
I've already told you I visited your capital some time ago. Weren't you listening to me? And I'm used to being greeted by officials when I arrive to settlements of at least some importance. The glory of myself and my exploits usually precedes me, and officials usually prefer to be on good terms with me.
I didn't know you'd come.
Yes, you're right. I should have remembered that your lands are in the middle of nowhere, and you don't get updates on important things in time.
So what happened here? How did your cart end up in the river?
My party and I set up camp at the bank of this river. We'd just finished kindling the fire when that purple bastard appeared. You know what he told me? He introduced himself as the King of the Kobolds and told me he needed our clothes because he wanted to dress his subjects properly, you see, as long as they've established the kingdom of their own. That's literally what he said. I wonder, where did he learn the words? Obviously, I told him to buzz off. Some kobold wants to strut around wearing the clothes of the great cartographer Jubilost. No way. So I've been explaining my position to him, being rather eloquent too, suggesting he and his so-called kingdom might as well fall into the deepest sinkhole. And in the meantime, I've noticed that kobolds have already started to untie my cart. Well, I called my men to keep the cart safe. They couldn't guess what to do on their own, just stood there with their mouths ajar. Then things heated up as the fighting started, and while we were fighting, the ponies dragged the cart to the river. Ah, stupid animals.
You said you were famous, but I don't know you. What are you famous for?
That was either a stupid and offensive joke or a case of total ignorance. The latter, I hope. I'm famous as a traveler, a cartographer, an alchemist, and a journalist. The students of all the major universities study the world using my maps. My articles for different journals are well known everywhere, from Andorran to Brevoy. You've definitely read some issues of National Alchemy, haven't you?
No.
Culinary Almanac of the Inner Sea?
No.
Or the most scandalous one, The Independence, describing benefits and drawbacks of governments and regimes in different states?
No.
Didn't read any of these? Oh, well, don't answer that. I don't want to spoil my impression of your barony. It's spoiled enough already. It would be hard for me to write at least something positive otherwise.
Right.
Wait, the Jubilost Narthropple? Author of the 14 and a half eulogies to Pitax? Oh my, every student in the Academy of Grand Arts devoured your books, especially after King Aravetti banned them, tried you in absentia, and sentenced you to death.
I see at least someone in this shabby barony has at least a rudimentary education, even if they got them in such a dubious establishment as the Pitax Academy of Grand Arts.
I was expelled for irreverence.
Ha! Is this so? Well, if it is true, then you just might not be beyond hope.
So what is such a famous person doing that far from civilization?
I pursued two objectives. The first is to write an article on this new barony of yours for the Independence. The second is to draw a detailed map of the stolen lands. Before this barony appeared, it had been too dangerous to come here, but now an opportunity has appeared. Thanks to you, I must add. So, as you can see, the freedom of speech sometimes grants positive comments too. Anyway, I'm almost done with this journey. My article is practically ready, so is the map. All that's left to do now is to find an old dwarven outpost established here several centuries ago.
What is this dwarven outpost you're searching for?
Your ignorance is stunning. You create a barony and still you know nothing about the lands you own. I'll have to enlighten you on the subject.
This gnome is fairly funny.
You see, long ago there was a dwarven trade route crossing these lands. It connected Five Kings Mountains and the north. The route was so important to the dwarves that they were generous enough to set a number of outposts along it, manned with armed guardians to provide protection for the traders. One of these outposts must be somewhere nearby, lost and completely forsaken, but nothing can avoid the watchful eye of the great cartographer Jubilost Narthropple. I will find this outpost, and I will mark its location on the map. You can trust me on that.
Tell me, is this old dwarven outpost abandoned? It is possible it's now used by trolls as a lair, for instance.
Why not? Dwarves like being underground, trolls like being underground too. It's quite possible after dwarves left, their warm and cozy place fell into the hands of less attractive creatures.
The cat decided to do some random rumbling background there, as you might have noticed. I'm looking for the troll's lair. Maybe we're looking for the same place. Let's join our efforts and start looking together.
You seem to be a capable companion, but I'll pass for now. I still have to count my losses after the river took my cart and all my stuff.
Well, if I find this outpost, I will let you know. Goodbye.
I would be grateful. I'll stay here for a while. I need to sort things out.
Indeed.
Without a doubt.
2 quests for this troll lair. Checking to see if there's anything of interest.
I was successful.
We will fly edge low.
Onward!
Do not hold back.
Kobolds, at least.
We shall overcome.
Waste.
You
Advance!
deserved it.
And there's Sai +1. Goodies. Kobold Boomsayer. I like that kind of title.
Guide us.
Kobolds' corpses are badly burned by acid and alchemical fire. The gnomes fought fiercely, but eventually they were outnumbered. The camp looks habitable. Its owners must be somewhere nearby. Yeah, well, we know where they are. Let's pick up these things. Then we have Fighting the Bleaching, Practical Guidance by Isa Nordequani. Oh, want to read that? 3. Then there's the Cooking Almanac of the Inner Sea by Jubilost Narthropple. I don't remember if we picked up that before.
Our path leads on.
A crowbar. Mouth-watering broth is simmering in the pot. Well, I guess that's about what is around here. I don't think we can get up there. We can. Aha!
To the dust you will go.
Oh, a warg.
Bring it!
No, it's an alpha wolf. Can take some meat. Guess we could take the wolf pelts as well. They don't weigh that much.
Without a doubt.
Tree root with a ring of protection inside. It's a curious thing to have in a tree root.
We march ahead.
Ponies.
We will prevail!
Become as dust. Repent.
Wolves and kobolds.
Attack!
Meat. Few gems. Belts. What's this? Which has the recipe for galt ragu. That's something we can deeply be to our book of recipes.
How curious.
Hey, wait, there's something here. Torag's pendant. Okay. I don't think there's anything left of interest. No. Leave. Okay, let's continue on. Sure. No reason not to. What the heck are you people on about? A group of hardy people with axes, most likely lumberjacks, are menacing a fragile Nixie. Two lumberjacks stand before her, relaxed and disconnected. The lead lumberjack shakes his fist at the Nixie and yells, "Let them go, you swamp freak. If you don't, I'll burn this rotten grove to the ground, on my word." "You're the freaks, and my name is Melianse, thank you very much. If you keep being rude like this, I'll just drown these jumbos in the lake. Understand?" Noticing you, the lead lumberjack grins and waves. "You there. You seem a capable sort. Interested in some coin? Name's Korax, and we're loggers here in this forest. We could use your help in freeing our people from this Gorgon's claws." "We should help her, not them. I don't know. Why can't people and Fae live in peace?" "The Nixie has better chances at winning." Jaethal taps her chin, amused. "Let's find out if I'm right." "What's going on here?" "We were minding our own business, cutting trees and splitting logs, when this hag shows up out of nowhere, screeches at us, and then jinxes two of ours and threatens to drown them. With these Fae breeding like rabbits everywhere, what's an honest, hard-working man to do?" "Stupid Jumbo, you're the ones who breed like rabbits, spread into more and more space. We've lived here since forever. I've grown these trees for more than 100 years, know them down to the tiniest leaf, and then you show up with your stupid axes to ruin everything." Chaotic good. Let them go, Melianse. These people are families. "You wish. As soon as I let them go, the whole lot of them will attack. If these goons want to go home to their stupid families, they're going to have to promise to steer clear of my grove first." Try to reason with the loggers. Listen to me, people. Right. Let's do the diplomacy one. Quarreling with Fae is more trouble than it's worth. You've no idea how powerful and thin-skinned they can be. Succeeded. The lumberjack looks at the Nixie with suspicion. Melianse makes a scary face as she stretches her webbed hands out toward Korax, wiggling her fingers. "Ooh. Alright. It's not like we're dead set on this grove in the first place. If she gives us back our people, we will leave the place in peace, on my word." "Melianse, they will leave this place and never return. Please release the hostages now." "Oh, sure. And who's going to bring back my trees then? They come in here, smash everything in sight, and then just leave? No deal. Fix what you broke, then maybe I'll let them go." How are we supposed to restore a tree that's already been cut down? You humans are always like this. Destroy, 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 and then when it's time to clean up your mess, poof, gone. Fine, then, since you're clearly clueless, I will tell you what to do. There are these magic thingies that look like little feathers, the feather tokens. Throw one on the ground, anywhere, and a tree springs up. Your people's mages who tread the swamps more often than the others, they can make them. Buying a couple won't break your bank. My cousin Teresa can also make them. She lives in the Gnarl Marches. Either way, you bring a handful of them back here and I'll let your goons go. Let's go with the diplomacy again. You hear that, Korax? Just buy some feather tokens from a magic shop and she'll let your people go. Succeeded. The lead lumberjack curses under his breath, then sighs heavily. Have it your way. I'll send some of the boys to fetch those feathers of yours. I refuse to go back to widows and orphans about how their dad or mum was drowned in the swamp by some blue-skinned tree hugger. Okay. Alright, you big dunces, you may go, but bring me the feathers, no cheating. I used to think all you people were dumb and nasty, but you don't seem so bad. Let's be friends. Chaotic good hug, Meliance. Of course we can be friends. Chuckling, the Fae pushes you away. You? What are you doing? Stop that, come on. Here, just take this and hold off on that cuddly stuff, alright? We got a ring and some experience and have to go. Make sure you don't get lost. You people never seem to watch where you put your feet. And then Gorax. Well, thank you kindly. I was already thinking there was going to be blood. I believe I was promised compensation for my efforts. I never go back on my word. Take this. Thank you for helping us. For 400 gold coins. That was a rather simple situation to resolve. Although, if I didn't have as high persuasion as I have, then it would not be as simple. Just checking if there's anything to pick up. Doesn't appear that way though. Oh.
Tear them blood for Gollum!
The big bad wolf.
My search was not in vain.
That's a nice little stash.
Our path leads on.
Guess it's time to leave then. What is that? Oh, herbs. No, it's a token of the Dryad. Let's continue onwards.
A rest would be welcome.
I guess we need to rest. We're heading for the ruined watchtower.
Perhaps I will return to Keonan one day. Walk the streets of Idara. Find the wretch who reported me to the Elven Eldest and drain them of their blood, drop by drop.
Very successful. Before we enter, there seems to be... Oh, the barony is out of reach. We are not in the barony. Let's enter the location then. I believe this is a rather large area. I think, however, that we shall explore this area in the next episode. It would become a very long episode if I were to do this area as well in this one. So thank you all so very much for joining me, and I will see you all next time.